right behind us are kind of insane.
What, Arashi?
What?
Nah, I'm joking, but yeah, these fans are going crazy here. Turns out to be Bruno.
Bruno, okay. So you're saying there's some dive threat from Evos? That's certainly the case, but I feel like it's more of a front to back. It's more of a big chase scenario because the CC and the Boxia both move very, very fast, and the Vexana, once someone gets knocked, stunned for just a short amount of time, if the Vexana can catch up to you, it's pretty much a done deal, even through the hard guard, depending on how much damage is available. So for Dewa, I think crowd control is something they really need, something to disengage if it's just not preferable.
I'm sensing something unorthodox here from Dewa United. I don't know why. Just because the presence of Drian, I guess. Because this guy has been playing a lot of heroes. That's probably an understatement, but it's going to be Barats. Nope, it's not going to be something crazy. Gord. We've seen how Gord can perform against this kind of heroes like Boxia. Very effective. Just make sure you don't get ran over by that Shield Unity.
So is it Yuzong or Paquito for Fluffy?
I feel like it's...
Or neither.
Maybe Paquito or the Benedetta.
Ooh, that's true.
You're right.
Fluffy with the Benedetta. So Benedetta, Paquito, Yuzong. Those are the three that I'm expecting here. Up against the Gord, right? You want to have a bit of dive.
I wonder if they're considering something even like a Lapu Lapu, something with a bit more AoE.
Right? You're right, I keep forgetting about the CC.
I'm sorry.
Oh, right, you... Wow, hey,
You did this twice now. I did this twice now.
All right, so... I'm seeing some kind of lockdown, some kind of chase. Okay, there you go. For the longest time, this has been a thing, right? The Shield Unity combined with the movement speed buff. And now, against what is most likely a Gord with an Ice Queen's Wand, an Angela with an Ice Queen's Wand, all that slows are going to be nullified. This is a wrecking ball strat coming in from Evos, going full speed towards Dewa.
This is a battle of durability. 2 utility junglers plus 2 healers. A lot of buff as well. I'm sensing a long game here from Evos and Dewa United, considering that Dewa is indeed, like, on average, they also have the longest game duration in MPL Indonesia Season 13. But let's see, though, if that's going to be the case. What is on a Claude, which can pop off quite early in the game, in the mid game, once he got that Corrosion Sight and also Demon Hearted Sword. So you don't really have to wait until the late game to be able to make use of what.
Well, just have to see how they make use of all the weapons they have. It's speed versus damage. Sometimes the speed can outmaneuver, but here we go, Shevin.
The Apostles of the Gods versus the White Tigers is looking for glory. It's Evos Glory versus Dewa United.
A whole new lineup to try to bring Dewa down and to bring a win. Their first one in Season 13. Can they do it?
Off the bat, let's talk about Dreams with the focusing mark on the Rafaela. Trying to be a bit more aggressive, not only wanting to be utility-based. On the other side, though, Key's having the Impure Rage, more poke-centric more than anything. Not really going for anything too crazy when it comes to poke. So we'll have to see. Again, the durability battle is going to be there between Drian and Dreams. Both starting with D, which is quite interesting. Later on, though, I feel like Evos can chase down a lot better. But Dewa, they have the damage to just instantly burst someone down. That will be where it gets important, right? The mind game, the vision game later on.
I have to ask you though, Rashi, when it comes to this lineup for Evos, Natko already forced a flicker early on. Watt's actually taking this lane super slow up against the Bruno. But back to the question, Rashi, the Rafaela. First time that we've seen Rafaela in Season 13. No flicker or Natko. Gary's looking for possible gank. He has a death in his welcome. He's gonna go for the charge. But he zones Natko away from the minion wave. This is disastrous for Natko, especially with the Master Assassin. But back to the question, Rashi. Rafaela, why are we seeing it here?
To go up against the slows for sure, to battle with the sustain, and of course to help with the chase. Like we said, with the Boxia, Rafaela was a thing for quite a while, and technically you can kind of use this combo with the Bruno as well. It's another alternative to the Diggy Bruno combo to get a very dominant lane. But now the problem is Dreams is following Annabelle around, and they're doing great there. But the other lane, Natko, that's supposed to be really winning, really dominating that lane, really isn't doing so hot.
Fun fact as well, this combo of Boxia and Rafaela has been around for a very long time. Since M1, when 10S Gaming, I believe, popularized this meta combo. And Evos was the champion of that tournament.
Dixon, level 4 already. Has the final flash, goes into Fluffy. And that's Dixon! All the Arnods are getting the neutral objectives! That's a good death to his welcome from Gary, but Fluffy picks up first blood as he goes in for more, but Dixon in the back is just tearing it up. Now flickering on the clock and picking up a double, and the Holy Baptism doesn't connect. Still though, without Trian's healing, Fluffy picks up the double, and in the end, it's 2 for 2. But Dewa were able to secure the neutral objective.
What's happening right now, Rashi? I think I'm not even surprised anymore.
Well, Dixon, he takes the turtle, and he gets a double right there, really showing the potential of this Arlet used aggressively instead of utility. We've always seen it being used in the roam position, and I think even some players are starting to forget that this hero in a dominant position in the EXP lane is not to be trifled with.
For sure, but looking at the talent prediction, Mirko, is this a bless or a curse?
Bro, we blessed Aura, but really, I meant it to be a curse.
All right.
So,
I'm the lone Evos supporter here.
no, you got Ranger Amos. Ranger Amos said 2-0 Evos.
Well, at least in this task.
Yeah, that's true.
Right, so we're gonna bully you, Shevin. If
Oh no.
if it doesn't come to fruition, we will be bullying you here. But yes, so early on we can see that Evos, they're just a lot more aggressive, and the thing with Dewa is Gary is on the Barats, tanky, doing damage, but no real mobility. Unless later on, they want to use the hard guard on the Barats, which is not really ideal, right? You want to use it maybe more on the Claude, but maybe potentially on the Arlet, considering how things are developing right now.
So far, still kind of a stalemate. 200 gold lead for Dewa United. Nothing to boost just yet, but they're looking to set up for the next turtle here in about 20 seconds. Who's on the advantage here, Rashi, for turtle fight?
When it comes to setup, I believe Dewa has more of an advantage, and that's mainly due to the longer range of the Mystic Projectile coming in from the gourd. The Vexana will have a lot of crowd control as well, but it's relatively short range. So in order to do so, Clockun will have to walk up and be in a more vulnerable spot. Because of that, and the experience of Dewa in these neutral objective dances, I feel like they will make the first move for sure, but they might get countered.
File is doing a good job to give Annabelle a bit more of that sustained mid lane. Going to be cleared already by Clockun. Shield Unity onto Dixon, Holy Baptism. Going to be able to connect, but Gary jumps into the back with that. Welcome, Annabelle still finds it! Somehow, some way. Dixon jumped to the backside. It's going to be a vengeance used up. What also? Onto Dreams now. 1 HP. Dixon slices him in the back. Fluffy's looking for a bit more. Looking for compensation. Dixon with a stun. Fluffy doesn't go for it. A kill over for the turtle.
I think there was a slight miscalculation from Gary. He thought that he could get the turtle despite just throwing Annabelle into the turtle as well. But it looks like it's not enough. And Natko might be getting this one.
Natko just brute forcing the turret take. That's good for him. Now Dewa, they were getting some value right there, losing the turret, but the turtle, but still having the pressure that they have in those neutral objective takes. Now that Keys has finished the Ice Queen's one as well, that's another layer of crowd control that Evos have to calculate. They have to wait for Dreams to have the holy healing before they even try and go into those choke points where Dewa can just slow the whole team with those spells.
So, I don't know, it's a bit too, maybe a bit too soon, Arashi, but so far Evo's Glory, are they doing better with this lineup?
It's a bit early, but you're seeing potential, right? The fact that they're actually putting up a good fight against a team that's just been doing so well in the MPL definitely is a breath of fresh air, especially for the fans who are watching anxiously right now. But again, time will tell. Looking at the player's gold by Ube's gold, Watt is all the way up there, still above Natko. So not quite according to plan for Evo. Look at that, Gary walking up is just not the ideal target. There's no way they want to pour in all of their skills and damage into the Barats.
So far, it's a very peaceful game, and I get it. There's not much engage potential from both of these teams. There's no pick-off potential, and you have to play around those healings and also durability to be able to succeed. But 3-2 in the span of 7 minutes. Annabelle is looking for keys with the jukes.
Annabelle's all alone. He does get the dash though. Watts rotating over, trying to go for the poke onto Annabelle. But the main problem for Dewa has been that healing, sustained from Dreams. Annabelle actually using that Poissons very early on. No damage reduction now. Without the Poissons, Watts going back up to that turret up top. That has actually been taken away by Natko earlier. Prio blazing the wet though. And the battle mirror image with a hard guard here.
Oh no!
Dixon! The auto tap jumps into the other side. Dreams though will use the Holy Baptism, and in the end it will be worth it for Dewa United, who takes a dub through distractions as Gary finds a free. neutral objective.
The bottom lane though, a turret gets taken down by Fluffy, so it is still a trade for these teams.
Well, it still works for Dewa for sure. Everything going to plan, able to stand their ground and use the threat of a more reliable engage, reliable front line to really pressure Evos away from the objective. We're gonna look at the contrast here between the Rafaela and the Angela. Dream has built the Flats of the Oasis first, whereas for Dreams, he actually went and built the Necklace of Durance. So a bit of a difference in priority. For Evos, it's all about that utility more than anything. But for Dewa, they're trying to play around with that sustain.
Take a look at the items, Arashi. Looks like Gary is prioritizing that magic defense towards Clockhood with Radiant Armor first item.
Well, the glowing one will definitely be able to take down, well, to take and actually stack the Radiant Armor, so it's a good item. If the fights are projected to be long duration, then the Radiant Armor is definitely a better pick, because most likely Gary won't be the main target for all of the spells from Clockhood anyways, right? He wants to save those spells for someone that's a bit more valuable, so in that sense, the Radiant Armor still is a good choice.
Veteran Seer of Trion and what is looking to carry this game for Dewa United. So far 3-2. Once again, Anafel is just kind of flirting with everyone on Dewa United's team, man. Like, he's not going for it, but
Hinting. He's hinting at the possibility of an initiation. I like the word you use, flirting.
Flirting, yeah, interesting choice of words, Shevin. And he was able to actually get all the way towards Keys in the previous Turtle Dance. So that is something that Dewa are kind of wary about right now. If he can do the same in an actual big fight, it could be disastrous for Dewa.
it's gonna be a long Lord fight, I believe. These two have healing. They need to know when to stay away from the trigger and pull the trigger as well. As Keys already got a pretty good position on towards that middle push. Clockhood has to rotate to be able to get that.
But this is where Dewa United has so much advantage. They have the Angela for the macro play, and they have the Gourd for a pick-off chance, but Annabelle makes the first move.
Haze as well, forced to flicker out. That's a worldie. Dixon final slash out of that call. Force gonna flicker and jumping into the back with the Eternal Guard of the Blazing Duet to slice them down. It's Watt again who comes to clean Evos up. The gold lane down, but Gary is low. Evo's Glory certainly still have more sustain with the constant healing of the Rafaela, but they've lost a member, Fluffy. Putting pressure down onto Gary, and it will be him who picks up the purple buff, a steal from the Dino.
Small W for Evo's Glory, but that was a kind of a weird engage from Dixon. Going in knowing Watt isn't there yet, but it turns out doesn't really need to wait. He doesn't really need to wait because Watt is very, very speedy, especially with that hard guard also.
Well, when you surprise the casters, you definitely catch your opponents by surprise as well. So, great play by Dixon, 3-1-1. He's definitely a presence that Evos want to try and find a solution for here. Maybe saving a stun to make sure that the final slash doesn't really throw things out of balance.
How do you take care of Fluffy at this point? You can just go into the back line and wreak havoc, especially towards Keys. You can't really get away with a flicker.
Look at the side lane.
She's already on cooldown. Do they want to pull the trigger right now?
They have lost a turret already, Evos. So I feel like they're now feeling like, wow, we really lost something. Now we have to try and find a play.
An Eternal Guard used up. Good Dexterous welcome from Gary to get out of a possible initiation from Evo's Glory. No Eternal Guard now. Annabelle has the Poissons, but doesn't have the shield unity in the mid lane. CC still there. No one's dealing with the bottom side. Trion is just having a field day with the turrets.
Yeah, my guy Trion might as well build some physical items as well, just to push the turret, yeah. I think it works so far, should be. Because they're not doing anything towards Trion to take care of it.
Now CC goes bot, and now it's Dewa who are going to be the ones who hold this down. They're looking for an angle to initiate as well. Still on the bottom side. Now Annabelle walking forward, blazing away from Watto into the back. Now finding Dreams as well. It's going to be Nako and Dreams taken down, and even the Lord goes to Dewa. Out-macroed, completely outclassed. Evo's Glory. They were stuck in a rough spot and they couldn't make a decision.
It's looking really bleak for Evo's Glory. The glory that they're seeking right now, it's definitely far from it. Right now, Dewa United is up about 2.8k. Still pretty much catchable, but with the Lord coming up, it's gonna balloon towards like 6 or 5K.
Especially if Dewa will be able to actually position properly and set up for those turrets, leaving only the base turrets. Right now, again, Keys, the threat of the possibility of his team behind him, he just walks up there with no backup at all. And Evos, they don't want to take that risk. They want to make sure that they try and deal with the Lord and the waves first. Playing a lot more textbook, but Dewa is winning by making those unorthodox maneuvers.
Keys with the long-range hero. Already in the keys of victory.
Oh,
Got it, and he's definitely performing so far. 0-0-4, not much in the killing department, but he's been very much effective with those Mystic projectiles.
No Eternal Guard. It's been dealt with. Mystic Gush onto Fluffy Dreams and Annabelle. They're still able to sustain it, but the Lord will take the base turret down. They built enough waves, and without the Eternal Guard, with it being used a bit prematurely, they take a free turret with the first Lord, Arashi.
I think Clocken was trying to use the Eternal Guard to stall it out, and it kind of worked just for a bit. But that also means that the Eternal Guard gets cleared before the Lord even gets in range. Looking at the items right here, especially for Keys, the 2-1s is an insane power spike, slowing you down and also burning you in the process. He's been very liberal with his skill usage, and with the whole team not really urgently pushing forward in these fights, he can afford to do so. In fact, for Evos, the fact that Fluffy is building a lot of damage and he's been unable to really get a domineering presence in the middle of these fights into the backline of Dewa means that the bulk of that gold isn't really being put to good use.
Yeah, I think that should be the initial plan for Evos, right? Evos Glory. How to just isolate the frontliners and Gary and Dixon. You just take care of everyone with a single CC that has already 1.68 gold over the opposing PSP laner. And with that vengeance, what can really take care of the CC?
With the vengeance, I mean, like I said earlier, when Annabelle or Fluffy has been able to get in the backline, the fact that the mage is a gourd with a skill shot Mystic projectile.
Whoa, hang on. Baptism already used up, but Watt is holding still. It doesn't use the Purify. Dixon diving to the back right now with the final slash on that coat, but it is going to be kited away. Forced to flicker out. K's trying to find an angle, but gets poked down by the Eternal Guard for them to back away and set up for the next Lord. That was a good fight from Evos, but unfortunately they weren't able to get a single kill.
The hard guard does come in clutch and saves Watt's life. But that shows again an inkling of what Evos can potentially do. You saw that when the fight isn't really a front to back, when Evos are the ones coming from the side lanes, Keys and Watt do struggle to really find an avenue of approach. So if they can mimic the same kind of outcome in the middle of a Lord fight using their higher mobility, there's potential here.
No flicker on Dixon.
Oh, wow.
Holy baptism on the Dixon. Now he only can go in. He goes in with the final slash in the back line. What? Blazing 2 rounds to the back. Dreams going to get melted down. Natko follows next. Everybody's crumbling to Watt as he free hits Annabelle down. That's a double kill for Watt. Fluffy jumping in now only with the immortality. No vengeance left will mean that Watt can shred him down too. It's a triple.
Oh.
3 out with the flicker, tying Clockun up.
Oh
Watt with the
God.
sidestep. The winner truncheon just there for Watt to claim a maniac. Dewa have wiped the White Tigers out in the 15th minute of the game. It looks to be the final moments of Evos Glory in Game 1 against Dewa. They claim Game number 1 with style.
The old man is not out of it just yet. He still got it. The veterans of the veterans in the gold lane took care of business in game number 1. Evos Glory still very far from what they're looking for.
Never underestimate the value of experience. Dewa United has shown once again. When the new students come, the seniors teach them a lesson.
Wow. Gotta be honest with you, like, it's not convincing, the performance that Evos Glory put up in this match. There's a lot of indecisiveness, a much more passive gameplay, and I get what they have to be passive, but at times you just have to pull the trigger and gamble for it. As Dewa United strike first.
Definitely a bit of inexperience, a bit of